Welcome. You are about to take a journey to a place of the divine love within with Deborah Beauvais on the Love by Intuition show. For the next hour, allow her to prepare you in becoming a magnet for a profound love-infused relationship by identifying and focusing on solutions through love. Awaken the light within and let your essence shine. And now, here's Deborah Beauvais on Love by Intuition, all part of the Dream Vision 7 radio network.
Welcome, everyone. Bonjour, mes amis. And yes, here I am, Deborah Beauvais, founder and owner of the Dream Vision 7 radio network. And if you're tuning in for the first time, we are a Boston-based syndicated internet radio station with all the bells and whistles. We produce live videos, produce all kinds of things. We have professional, commercial opportunities, all kinds of things that you would think an internet station would not do. But we do it all. And you can listen to us wherever you are in the world. And you can even ask Alexa to play Dream Vision 7 radio network. Well, I am excited because I have actually had a whole month off. When I say that, I'm still running the station, but I haven't been doing shows. So I had a nice little break in August, and now we're back rocking, and I have a phenomenal guest with me today. Her name is Junie Moon. She's actually a podcaster, has her own podcast, Midlife Love Out Loud, and she is streaming on our station every Thursday, 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So you'll have to check her out. But now Junie is a sought-after transformational coach, shadow work expert, and a visionary behind the Midlife Love Out Loud. Known for her fierce compassion, intuitive insight, and no-fluff, truth-telling, Junie helps women 50-plus break free from outdated patterns, to heal emotional wounds, and to open to healthy, lasting relationships. She has supported thousands of women over the past 30 years to claim what is their birthright, the freedom to be and love themselves without apology. I love that. Junie is an author. We're going to get into all these things. She is announcing a new TV show, a new dating TV show. So you'll be hearing all kinds of good things. So check her out and welcome Junie.
Thank you. What a great intro, and I'm just so happy to spend some time with you talking about my favorite topic, love.
Yes. Yes. So first of all, I'd like to hear, what was your childhood like, and did it overlap into your belief system when it came to relationships?
Oh, wow. What a great question. I had no idea what you were going to ask me first, and that's great. So I actually had a really wonderful childhood. I had two parents that loved each other, were there for each other. I witnessed pretty darn healthy love with my parents. However, my dad died when I was 14, so that kind of really struck the peaceful place to the survival place. And so while I witnessed and really got to know what healthy love looks like, then everything kind of blew up, and I had to do my healing journey around loss and safety and trusting that the people you love would actually stay. So you can only imagine how that translated into my relational life moving forward. But ultimately, my family life, my home life was actually kind of sweet.
That's wonderful that you had such a loving environment. And I'm so sorry, I didn't know that your father passed when you were just 14. And I relate to that with my own girls because they were around that age when my husband passed. And it's a journey. It's a journey for everyone, and especially kids that are at that age. It's a young age, those young teens. So So I'm sending you a big hug of love.
Aw,
because
thank you.
yeah. Okay, so now, so so you went on and you found, you must have gone on dates and had relationships. Did it get clouded as to what was healthy and what was not?
Oh, it was cloudy, all right. We are not taught how to do relationships in this culture or anywhere, as far as I can tell. We're not taught how to do love. We're not taught how to communicate well. We're taught to put up masks. We're taught to not really reveal our true selves because it's risky or people might criticize us or judge us. I mean, at the human level, from my training and what I know about psychology and just being human, we want to survive at all costs. So being that I lost my dad at such a young age, which was so traumatic to me, and then coupled with not really knowing how to really date and be in relationships, it took decades for me through the clouds, as you would say, to see how dysfunctional my relationships were, how I was really yearning for attention and love and safety, and I think that was totally tied to the loss of my dad, and just really accepting bad behavior with the guys that I was with because I had such low self-esteem. And then I was in a marriage of 20 years, and in my 40s, I woke up and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was 200 pounds and miserable, walking on eggshells, micromanaging everything. And this was just kind of indicative of my journey. It was like, this is how it was for so many years of being in relationships where I was just so scared to be myself. And the cost was my weight and my happiness and my ability to really connect honestly. And I found this body of work called shadow work, which really helped me reclaim my true self. And like in the bio that you read, to be myself and love it without apology, to fully be authentic. And when that shifted and I found true love after my marriage, I knew I had to bring this message out to the world that it can be different.
Right. And it can, and it's so amazing and refreshing and all of that. So you went through your journey, and you were that excited that you wanted to teach other women to find love like you did. So tell it. Well, I have to interject for a minute. Just to let everyone know that this is a live show, and Junie and I are talking about all these great topics, these great things to help date. And if you have questions, call. Bob is in the house, and the number is 833-220-1200. He'll put you right through. So, again, 833-220-1200. So tell us about, well, now before you met the man of your life right now, you were dating and all of that, and at what juncture did you actually decide to help women? Was it after you met the guy of your life, or was it prior to that when you were finding your own way and doing a lot of this healing?
Thank you. It was a while ago. When I woke up and really saw how I had been trained to be a certain way, that I was programmed by all my experiences and all my beliefs about life and love and relationships, and the high price I was paying in so many aspects of my life, I knew I wanted to make a difference. I've always been someone who wanted to make a difference in people's lives, no matter what I was doing in my life. Since I was a kid, I wanted to bring smiles to people's faces and bring more love and light into the world. It's just how I've always been. And
I have to say, if I may interject, I love you for that. Thank you, Junie.
Aw, thank you. And I would say it's a total mirror, because you are so like that, too. You are such a light, and it takes one to know one, you know?
Yeah.
So when I discovered shadow work, which is work to help you see the blind spots and be able to really break through the limiting beliefs and really have a much more conscious way of living, it changed my life. I mean, I'm in a normal-sized body now. I love myself. I take good care of myself. I'm my own best friend. And as you said, I have the love of my life in my life now. And I will say that when I first started this work, and this was in 2008, when I first started doing shadow work, it wasn't about partnership. It wasn't about finding the love of your life, and yet it was. It was about finding the love of your life within. It's all about self-love. It's all about being comfortable being you. And until people realize that they're holding themselves back or not really trusting that they can relax and just share their true sense, they're not able to really fully enjoy life. So for a lot of the journey up to this point, it was about helping people really unplug from the past, really be through what they have been trained to be like, and to really feel comfortable and have agency to just love themselves without apology. And then it was about maybe 10, 11 years ago that I decided there's so many single people. And by the way, I work with men and women. Yes, most of the work I do is with women, but I love working with men. And so about 10, 12 years ago, I just realized there were just so many people struggling in the second half of life when it came to starting over after divorce, or realizing they really wanted something different for their lives. Maybe they had a great career and they realized they missed out on love, but they wanted it still. And so I tied it all together, and now that's what I do, is I help people, again, come home to their hearts, know who they are, get so crystal clear about what they want for their life so they love their life, and then I give them really great dating strategies so that they can find their person like I did.
Yes. I love it. I really love it. So, because you have actually used the word that we can become our own soulmate, instead of looking for one right away, we can first become our own soulmate, and then we go from there. So tell me a little bit more about the shadow work. Is it energy work? Is it, what is it exactly?
Okay, I'm happy to talk about shadow work. And I just want to piggyback on becoming your own soulmate, because that's what it is. It's like when we can drop into the present moment and quiet down all the chatter between our ears and love fully who we are, and we become aligned with our true self, we will find and match somebody in that way. It's when we're disconnected from our true self, or we're hiding aspects of ourselves, that we then draw in or attract somebody to match what I call the shadow side, the part that's unhealed. So for me, it is a healing journey to discover that soulmate within, because then people radiate. They're radiant, they're alive, they're bright, and then they will align with somebody who's vibing at the same level. And so shadow work is a body of work. It's personal growth work. You asked if it was energy work, and I will say yes, and because we do use the body as the vehicle to explore and release and let go of the patterns that we hold, the stuff that we've picked up along the way. And so a lot of the work is what's going on inside of the body. Oh, it feels tight in your solar plexus, or your throat's closing up. So we will use the body as a tool to get to the core challenge that the person's having. So maybe their throat is closing up because they're afraid of speaking their truth. So, I'm feeling this. Well, what's that about? So kind of to rewind a little bit. So shadow work is helping us identify what we've lost access to. What have we decided is shameful or bad to be like? Because that's what's happened somewhere along the way, mostly when we're really little, like up to 7 years old. We're being told how to be and how not to be. We're sponges, and our parents and our teachers and the culture are telling us this is what a good girl looks like, or this is what a strong man looks like. And so we start to cut off aspects of who we are and go, well, I better not be like that, or I won't be loved, or I'll be left, or I'll be criticized. And that's what we say is shadow, the part that we think, I better not let anybody see that. And so we do this as a survival mechanism, and then we come to our second half of life, usually after we wake up, and we're like, well, this doesn't feel good. So shadow work helps shine a light on the parts you can't see yourself, because it's in shadow. It's so deep in the unconscious. And so through special processes, I help people really discover their true nature, their real voice, their heart's desires, to have healthy boundaries, being able to believe in themselves, envision what they desire in life, and help them be an integrated human being, or at least a much better integrated human being, because I believe we all are on a journey, and we're just constantly refining and up-leveling who we are.
Exactly. Well, that was a beautiful explanation about shadow work. And yes, I'm a true believer that we all need to go within and find out who we truly are, what makes us tick, what makes us, thrive, what we create, all, what we want to create. All of that is really getting to know who you are. But one of the things you brought up is shame, and I can't tell you how many people gravitate to that topic, so there's a need for healing there. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Junie, is do you think shame leads to unworthiness, the not good feeling about yourself, or is it something that, I feel as though, and the listeners have heard me say this 1,000 times, that probably 99% of the human population has problems with self-esteem, worthiness, all of that, especially women, because of society and all the generations of what has happened. But now we're in an era where we're balancing, so everyone will be equal. It's just a rough road to get there. But
oh yeah.
So what does shame lead to, or is it the unworthiness first and then the shame comes in?
Yeah, interesting question. I'm really sitting with this because they're so intertwined. My first thought is something happens in our life. We get an experience or a message from someone, and we don't want to fall short, and we don't want to look bad, and we don't want to be kicked out of the tribe, so to speak. So we tap into, I may not be good enough, so I better try harder. And I think that leads to potential shame, because the original message was you better be a good little girl or else. It's like, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I have shame about not being the best little girl ever. They're so intertwined in how I view it. I will say that when I think of shame, it's something so dark. It's something we hide. It's something like there's a saying, shame grows in the dark, because it's such a raw, vulnerable feeling of I'm bad. There's something wrong with me. And who wants to own that? We want to sweep it under the rug and look good, and kind of get by. And so I kind of feel like the not good enough, I was going to say not good enough-itis, that's what I call it, the not good enoughness leads to a deeper level of shame. But I would have to really sit with all of this, because those are two huge energies. And shame, I will say that so much of the work in shadow work in the model that I've been trained in, we say it's a shame-free container, and we create a safe place for people to open up and say, yes, this is a place that's painful for me, and I have shame around it. And once people are able to identify the shame, or at least share a little bit, like take off the cover of the sealed box of shame, if they could just open it up a little bit and let light in, it starts to loosen up, and it starts to feel, people start to feel better and more free and empowered. But it's a heavy energy, and the longer we've locked it away, and the more shame and fear we have about being found out or not being good enough, the more people hide it. And then people wonder why their relationships don't work. It's because they're hiding so much of who they truly are. And so my job is to really help people heal that shame, shed the shame, like the name of my film, Shed the Shame, because when we can really release it, anything goes. It's so enlivening.
Right. And it's amazing, when you think about it, when a couple come together, if they're not open and truthful with who they are, and even talking about their journey, their childhood, things that really bother them, triggers, everything like that, then it's almost impossible, you think, how two people could come together and enjoy and happiness for years on end when they're not even sharing with that close person who they really are. It's just I find
true.
Yeah, I mean it's fascinating. I mean, there's so many different pieces to that. Well, we're coming up on a break, and everyone, there is a new TV dating show coming up, and Junie, take a couple minutes and tell us about it, and then everyone, you'll hear the audio Bob will be playing as we go out to the break.
Oh, thank you for letting me share this, because this is my new baby, and I'm just so excited. You know, after being on the internet and having my radio show and the podcast, I really wanted to do something in person, and I really sat with it and I went, well, what can I do that can make a great impact and bring more understanding about what it takes to have healthy love and life? So I have a new talk show. It's the pilot is being filmed live for virtual tickets as well as in person in Montclair, New Jersey, October 8th, and a segment of it is called The Ultimate Match, which is my version, the updated, new, bold, soulful version of the old 70s game. So it's the Junie Moon dating game called The Ultimate Match. So part talk show where we're going to be talking relationship and tools. I have an intimacy coach coming on. I have this dynamic musical duo who have been in love for years to talk about their relationship and play a song from their new album. So people are going to be hearing about the things the things that we need to get in check to have a spectacular second half of life and relationship. And then we switch gears and I do the dating game, my version called The Ultimate Match.
That is so cool. I mean, that's exciting. And I read on your site, and I didn't catch this back when you started with us, that you dreamed of having your own TV show, and it's now a reality. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like you actually created it because you opened to it and told the universe what you were planning?
Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful to share this. Thank you. Yes. Well, I was an actress for a large part of my early part of my life, and I definitely saw, people that were, on stage and doing their shows, their talk shows, like Oprah. Like I was like, oh my God, I would love to have my own version of being Oprah. But then I went on with my life, and about a year or so ago, I gave myself some time to really drop into my heart and to connect with the universe. I've been doing a lot of meditation and manifesting, and I just kept staying open to what's next for me, really asking the universe for guidance because I was feeling lost. I mean, I've been working so hard and doing my business, but it wasn't at the level I really wanted it to be and reaching the people that I wanted to reach. And I just kept staying open and doing the meditation. And in January, I got the download. Now, here's the thing. I actually thought about the show a couple of years ago, but I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready on whatever level. The stars hadn't lined up, or I just wasn't aligned at all at that point to go, oh, yes, I'm gonna switch gears and do this. But because I gave myself time to really connect with myself and the energy around me, and I really deeply listened, in January, it was do your show, and the rest is history. I'm so excited to have this studio audience that gets to vote for the match. The live streamers get to vote and cheer on the contestants. Will they decide, do they listen to the audience or do they pick their best match? And we're going to just have so much fun. I'm really thrilled.
You should be. I'm so proud of you for all of that unfolding for you, but you've done the work. And now it's coming to be. And it's going to be fantastic. I just know. I wish I was in New Jersey to show up.
Too.
But anyway, so we need to take our quick break. Here comes the promotional ad for it. So everyone listen, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Remember the dating game from the 70s? Well, it's back, with a soulful, modern twist. Your Best Life with Junie Moon, yes, that's me, is a brand new talk show all about love, relationships, and living your best life in the second half of life. And it launches October 8th with a segment called The Ultimate Match, a fun, bold dating game where real singles get real about love. And the cool part, you get to help pick their match. That's right. When you grab your virtual ticket, you don't just watch. You vote, you cheer, and you're part of the love story as it unfolds on the stage live. This is the very first taping, and it's your chance to witness something special from the very beginning. So go to yourbestlife.show to get your virtual backstage pass, or if you're in the neighborhood, which is Montclair, New Jersey, you could apply to be a contestant. So join us and be part of the movement to bring more real, healthy love into the world, one match at a time.
Experience a different yet profound healing with Reconnective Healing. Includes yet expands beyond any and all known forms of energy healing. The Reconnective Healing spectrum is comprised of the full healing and evolutionary continuum of energy, light, and information. It allows for healings that are not just physical, not just mental, not just emotional, yet go beyond that to bring healing that includes the evolution of your very being and essence. Deborah Beauvais, trained and certified by world-renowned Dr. Eric Pearl, offers appointment hours at Seacock Family Chiropractic in Seacock, Massachusetts. For questions or to set up both distance or local sessions, call Deborah at 508-431-1959. Again, 508-431-1959. Or go to lovebyintuition.com. That's lovebyintuition.com.
Calling all authors. Have you been considering an audiobook? Well, look no further. Come take advantage of Dream Vision 7 Radio Network's unique in-house audiobook production, which includes benefits and bonuses from our radio station. Let our knowledgeable staff guide you to create the audiobook you've always dreamed of without breaking the bank. Check out our full one-stop service from A to Z, including the ACX process. Schedule a free consultation by calling 508-226-1723. That's 508-226-1723. Or go to dreamvision7radio.com.
After narrowly surviving the attack on Sandy Hook Elementary, first-grade teacher Caitlin Royd DeBellis was left searching for answers that would never come. Eventually, she chose to focus on questions that could be answered. How do I make sure this tragedy doesn't define us? How do we get our control back? Those two questions led her to found the 501c3 nonprofit organization Classes for Classes. When gifts poured into their classroom, she decided they would help someone else by paying it forward and being kind. This developed into a social network which allows K-8 classrooms to connect so that every student in the United States can learn these crucial lessons. Classes for Classes' mission is to build students' social-emotional intelligence by connecting them to care. All C4C projects are crowdfunded. Any teacher in the U.S. can visit classesforclasses.org. That's classes, the number 4, classes.org. Sign up today.
Delight your kids with an enchanting journey by reading the Paper Doll Kids children's book by Deborah Beauvais and Janine Sullivan. There's even a catchy tune, Kids for Love Song, produced by Bob Sherwood and sung by kids just like yours. The story weaves around 7 paper dolls flying around the world doing good deeds as they bring important attention to our endangered animal friends. There's even a magical ring with a universal message. Kids become interested in service projects, action through compassion, and planting seeds that nurture positive change. The Paper Doll Kids and Kids for Love Song are a production of the Kids for Love Project. Get the book now on Amazon Kindle and the song on CD Baby or iTunes.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
And we are back, and this is a live show. Feel free to call in. Bob is in the house, and we'll put you through 833-220-1200. We are with Junie Moon. She is everything you could possibly want in a person that can help you find love within, be your own soulmate, and help you find, or you radiate when you're done working with her, to have the most phenomenal relationship that we all dream about. She is author of Loving the Whole Package, Shed the Shame and Live Life Out Loud. So check that out. Get the book. It will help you in a number of ways. And back to you, Junie. I really wanted to find out well, first of all, I have to say you mentioned that you were an actress and you actually worked on films with Barbra Streisand, Woody Allen, and Debbie Moore.
Wow. Yeah, I did a bunch of films, and as most actors know, we need to make money to support ourselves while we're waiting for our big break. And I lived in New York City in the 80s, and I was full-out actress. And I will say that it was this moment, a very powerful moment, where I was feeling out of sorts, and I went to a yoga class. This was 1990, April of 1990, because it was such a huge moment in my life where I was feeling out of sorts. I went to the yoga class, and I left the yoga class on West 13th Street. I'm walking down the road feeling so peaceful and aligned and connected to spirit, and I lit up a cigarette, and I stopped right in my tracks, and the two worlds collided. The one of the actress wanting to feel special, wanting to be in the limelight, and this other part that wanted to be more peaceful, more connected to all, and be more of service. And that was when I shifted gears and let go of my dream of that time to be an actress and to move into the healing arts and help people in all different ways.
Wow. Wow. And you're also an acupuncturist, and I didn't know that either. So it's...
Yes. Well, that infamous day changed everything, and I went to the Omega Institute up in Massachusetts. And it's not Massachusetts, it's New York, Rhinebeck, New York. And I lived up there and worked up there because I really, like those two worlds colliding, had my head spinning. And I hurt my back really badly and saw a very different type of business, a different type of being. I said, okay, I'm going to be a massage therapist. I became a massage therapist. And then I became an acupuncturist. Then I became an interfaith minister. And, well, the rest is me being here.
Wow. You're so many facets of you. There's many facets of Junie Moon.
Aw, thank you. Well, it's interesting because it's like a tapestry, the way I look at it. I used to think, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, and I was this, I was that. I know all these pieces, but who am I? Where do I shine? And, what is my true calling, so to speak? And then I realized very recently, that everything that I've done has really brought me to this moment. And it's all been about love. It's all been about connection and wanting to have a more peaceful, loving world. And it just showed up in all these different ways.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm a true believer now that everything that we do, every job that we take on, every speech that we may do, all of the things that we have learned 20, 30 years ago or more, it's a kaleidoscope of information, and a lot of it is sacred to each person, and when they're helping other people, they can call upon all the different knowledge that they have acquired over the years. So I think of it as a kaleidoscope of all these pieces that we are, and we're one big, beautiful person, or soul, as I always say. So let's find out about your man.
Tell us about my favorite topic.
Yes, tell us about him, and how did you meet? Did someone introduce you?
No, I did it online, and I want to scream that from the top of the mountains because everybody says online doesn't work, and there's no good guys out there, and it's a horrible place to meet people. I had one swipe, and I met my soulmate.
Wow!
And to be completely transparent, it was a journey, of years of refining who I am and really honoring my journey and loving myself so that I didn't lower my standards, and really that I have a great life and I'm ready to share it with somebody. It took a while to get there. And so, I don't know, a couple of years ago I was dating and I kept meeting really great guys, but they weren't my person. And then life got a little busy and I was like, you know what, let me just live my life. Let me enjoy my life. And when I'm ready, I'll go back in. And so a little over a year ago, because we're still new, but my gosh, we've lived lifetimes together, there's no doubt. A little over a year ago, it was one night last summer, and I just said, I'm ready. I have this awesome life, and I want my partner to share it with, and I'm going to go online tonight, and I will only swipe once, but I will only swipe unless I'm 100% sure that there's something in his profile that has me know 100% that this is someone from my world, somebody that will totally get me. We're from the same planet. We're so aligned. And there he was, and the rest is history. It is so amazing. And I can really say now with total what's the word, alignment, I'll use the word alignment, like this deep knowing that when we really can feel that alignment within and we really choose to call in that person to match us, there is someone to match you. And to not second guess and to not date somebody like that might be a potential, or to date somebody that might be a fit somewhere down the line or is good enough, to really do the work, to have an amazing life and choose someone to come into your life that fits you. Because I never knew it could be this easy. I never knew it could be this fun. I never knew it could be walking in heaven on a daily basis. And we have our moments, but because we have so much love and respect for each other and we know how to talk to each other. I mean, he's a really evolved guy. He's done his work, and we're able to really create this magical time together. He's spectacular. He's the most spectacular human I've ever been able to, I want to say cohabitate, but we're not there yet, to be in relationship with.
Well, I mean, beautifully said, and you can tell that you adore him, and I'm sure he adores you, and it's perfect. What's not perfect about it? And you said, one of the things you said is that when you get to know each other and you respect each other, I think that, and the other piece of it, I should say, I think it's a little different when you get older. Because of that respect, you may disagree in a different way than, say, when you were 30. It's a different type of relationship because you have found yourself within, and he has too. And so you're looking at it from a whole different lens, as one would say, because of where you are today. And that's a beautiful thing. One of the things I wanted to ask you is, there are people, and even in my family, there are people that are not awakened to the point where they're like, okay, I'm just going to delve right in and get to know who I am and do some shadow work or do some inner work and releasing and all that comes with energy work and healing. If someone, from your perspective, if they do not choose to do any inner healing their whole entire life, they're just not into it, it's not something that they want to even speak about, can they still find true love?
Oh, wow. let me sit with that one. Well, let me say, who am I to say what other people have? I don't know. Like what constitutes true love for one person might be different than another. What I will say is, when our masks are down, when we're able to truly be ourselves and share ourselves fully with somebody else, the depth of love and the opportunity for intimacy is, there are no words, there's no adjectives to describe what that can be like, and I'm living that. So can someone have true love if they haven't done the work? I would say yes. I just think there might be limitations to the depth of where they can go, because maybe they're not really able to share fully their truth or have that connection on that deeper level. But, love is love, and I think anyone could have true love. I definitely think that the more people do their healing work and can show up authentically, the opportunity for deep connection, deep intimacy, and next level love, that's what I think is around the corner on the other side of not healing.
Right. I agree with that. And it's the deepness that one can go, that can lift so many things. And yeah, I have to say, my soulmate, well, a lot of the listeners already know. So you have the domestic violence marriage that's short, and then you find the person that is your dream. Everyone thought, just looking at us, they could tell, blah, 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 all of the glory that you would expect. And I didn't do any inner work, although, let me take that back. I started my mother work when I was in my 20s. So that's the work that I did. And all about loving yourself, looking in the mirror, looking in your eyes. All that I did when I was in my 20s. But I was not awakened. I was not spiritually awakened to there's a higher purpose and blah, blah, blah. So I believe that it can happen. It depends on where you are, and it depends on also, too, if you're an old soul when we come, to the earth. Some people are newbies, others have been back and forth a few times or more. So,
Yep, I've taken a few trips.
Yes, I have as well. So it just depends, but I think it's rich. If you're further in life, and you have stuff to work on, I would suggest do it, because there's so much satisfaction of being comfortable in your own skin. And then, again, you would find someone to match that.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's exciting.
But people are afraid to look at their stuff, People sometimes, they say the comfort zone, that no one wants, life happens outside the comfort zone. It's not that comfortable, that people in their comfort zone, they just know the territory, but they don't really know what's possible because they're so stuck in their old patterns. But it's territory that they're familiar with. And there needs to be a little bit of faith and a leap of faith to say, okay, let me take that first step and look at some of these things. And people sometimes go, oh, my God, that sounds scary, or it sounds like really hard work. And what I usually say is it's way more scary and way harder if you don't know what you don't know. What's in the shadow bag? What are the belief systems that are in the unconscious that keep you stuck and having a smaller life? And what's on the other side of this is freedom and love for yourself and happiness. And if you want a person to share it with, this is the journey. I mean, at least that's how I view it.
I love that. I mean, what you're saying is exactly true. I agree with all of that. And it's really up to each one of us to make that choice. And the other piece of it is when you do have an awakening, a release of what's happening, it brings you to another level of resonating on this earth, and it brings you closer to loving yourself, because now you get that peace and you're okay with it. It's being okay with the decisions. We've all made mistakes. We've all done certain things, and it comes back to that shame. If you can release the shame and just be and enjoy life for what it is, that's where the nectar is, I think, of of life is just accepting it all. It's okay.
Yeah, accepting it all. And what I've been really working on in the recent years is truly accepting everything and not defining it as good or bad, because even just that belief of it's good or bad creates a story versus this is just what's happening right now. The pain that we feel are the stories that we tell about what we're experiencing. And if we could just really drop into the now and be in more acceptance of what is, it is so freeing. It's just my whole nervous system gets to relax because I don't have to do anything except just be. And then everything flows so much more smoothly.
Yes, well said. Well, we need to take a quick break. And Bob, if feasible, just play Junie's dating game and then come back from a break.
Remember the dating game from the 70s? Well, it's back with a soulful, modern twist. Your Best Life with Junie Moon, yes, that's me, is a brand new talk show all about love, relationships, and living your best life in the second half of life. And it launches October 8th with a segment called The Ultimate Match, a fun, bold dating game where real singles get real about love. And the cool part, you get to help pick their match. That's right. When you grab your virtual ticket, you don't just watch. You vote, you cheer, and you're part of the love story as it unfolds on the stage live. This is the very first taping, and it's your chance to witness something special from the very beginning. So go to yourbestlife.show to get your virtual backstage pass. Or if you're in the neighborhood, which is Montclair, New Jersey, you could apply to be a contestant. So join us and be part of the movement to bring more real, healthy love into the world, one match at a time.
Take a journey to a place of the divine love within with Deborah Beauvais on the Love by Intuition show, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Eastern. Our message is love in the purest form. The light within us all is a guide to recall our beginning, to learn to love self and humankind, and to feel the higher power of our own divinity. To attract love, one needs to be love. Come join us and step into this glorious vibration called love.
Delight your kids with an enchanting journey by reading the Paper Doll Kids children's book by Deborah Beauvais and Janine Sullivan. There's even a catchy tune, Kids for Love Song, produced by Bob Sherwood and sung by kids just like yours. The story weaves around 7 paper dolls flying around the world doing good deeds as they bring important attention to our endangered animal friends. There's even a magical ring with a universal message. Kids become interested in service projects, action through compassion, and planting seeds that nurture positive change. The Paper Doll Kids and Kids for Love Song are a production of the Kids for Love Project. Get the book now on Amazon Kindle and the song on CD Baby or iTunes.
Are miracles real? Can you move from mayhem to miracles? 30 prominent authors say yes as they share their high fives and down lows of challenges, abuse, addiction, and love. Experience hope, the magic elixir of miracles, through the personal stories of New York Times bestselling authors James Redfield, Dr. Bernie Siegel, Sister Jenna, Reverend Temple Hayes, and many more. If you like bestsellers, chaos to clarity, and crappy to happy, you'll love crying and laughing through mayhem to miracles. Sacred Stories of Transformational Hope. Available now on Amazon and in bookstores worldwide.
It's a child's job to play, to learn, and to have fun. It's an adult's job to keep them safe. Did you know that 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before the age of 18? Every day, families enter the Children's Advocacy Center because a child's courage to tell someone what happened to them. Keeping our children safe starts with a conversation. This is Michelle Aranger, Executive Director of the Children's Advocacy Center. Learn more on how to keep your child safe. Visit cacofbc.org. This message made possible by the Fall River Rotary Club.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Okay. So to get in touch with Junie, go on her site. It's Midlife Love Out Loud, just as it says, sounds, midlifeloveoutloud.com. And you can learn so much more. You can connect with her. If someone wants to do a session with you, they can sign up right there on the site. Correct, Junie?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a button right there at the top right corner called YBL, Your Best Life, and you can sign up there. They'll bring you to the yourbestlife.show page, and there's a lot of goodies on the website as well.
Good. All right. So one of the other things on mind, and I know that you just did a show on this topic, if someone has become a widow or a widower at different ages, but what's the most, I think, devastating is when it happens at a younger age. That's just my perspective, and that's okay. But now you've talked about, can they possibly feel everything around the grief and still move forward to dating? What's your take on all of that? I've lived it, so I want to hear what you have, what your suggestions and what your beliefs are around that.
Yeah, sure. I've had a lot of loss in my life, some pretty big losses, and I have found that I can have the grief and I can have the sadness and have joy and be happy at the same time. And with that said, we have the healing journey. I mean, grief is a heavy energy. And when we have had a loss of some sort, I think it's really important to allow ourselves to feel what we need to feel and get the support we need to get to and really honor that journey. It really drives me nuts when people tell me that there's like a certain time that they're allowed to be out of work for their grief process, or, oh, you're still grieving after a year or two. Like, grief doesn't have a timetable. With that said, I do think people get stuck in their grief, in their loss, with the stories, with their pain, if they don't get support or if they don't allow themselves to feel what they need to feel. So for me, grief needs to move. Grief needs to be honored. Grief needs to have a place to land. And it's okay to also find love and joy again. And when it's right, I've worked with a bunch of widows and widowers, both. And some of it took a little time for them to really know that they can take that next step, that they can open their hearts again. Some people take a couple of years to really do the work to be able to come to that place of, I'm good with what I've had, I miss my partner, and I'm ready for love. And then there are people, like I have a client right now, within 8 months, this person was ready to move on. And this person needed to do a piece of work where I'm being really neutral with the male-female thing, where this person connected to their partner that died to be able to know it was okay to move on, that they were loved and supported, and they will keep their relationship alive no matter what. So my message to everybody is your feelings are your GPS, to listen to what's going on inside and to notice if you're stuck in one way, give it a space, get support so that you really can have all the flavors of all your emotions and not have one be driving you and limiting your experience in life.
I like that. And every relationship is different. There are people that are married for 40 years and they love each other at some level, but they really may not be compatible with, you hear about stories with the woman wants to travel and the man wants to travel and their partner does not. So they'll be going on for years with not resolving that. And then there's disappointment and all of that. And now if someone passes, it gives the other person an opportunity to meet someone that's more compatible, especially when they're, I think, as they age. At least that's what it appears to be. I have no idea because I'm not in a situation like that. But yeah, and everyone does grief differently, and it's not, I don't think if there's as you say, a timetable, there isn't, there's bullet points you can think or read about, but you have to follow what works for you. And so it's a big topic, I believe. But what I do know, because I did do matchmaking for a few years back in the day, was the men. The men seem to, not that it works out, but the men are ready earlier than the women. And the men will even think of their new person, their new partner, as if it was their wife. Until some years go by, and then the truth of that person comes through, and now they have to, really start over with the relationship. What are your thoughts on that?
There does seem to be that trend where men go a little faster back out there versus the women. Men and women are different. We really are. And I just think what you said is to really find your own journey, to listen to what works for you. And if it takes longer, it takes longer. I mean, women have different attachment and connection in relationships than men. I think men compartmentalize a little bit more easily, and women tend to be, we're just different, And so whether it's a man or a woman, I think to just really honor your path, what feels right to you, and to not do it alone, because that's one of the things when my dad died. Back then therapy wasn't necessarily as accessible or acknowledged. And I had to figure that out on my own, just like my mom. I think she did get some therapy after my dad died. She was really young. She was only 38. And so, she had her journey. I had my journey. But now we know that there's a lot of help out there. There's a lot of different modalities out there. So to not struggle alone, to listen to your gut, what feels right to you. And if it goes a little longer, then give yourself that grace. If you're going faster, just be mindful and really listen deeply to your heart. And hopefully you're being really real, because if you go into a relationship really quickly, there's a really good chance that it may not last if you haven't done the work. And that's just what I see over and over.
Well said. Well, we've come to the end of our time together, Junie. I'm going to give you a minute. What would you like to leave the listeners with?
Be true to yourself and live life out loud. Embrace it all, because it really is spectacular, and only you can know what is your highest and best when it comes to this journey. So listen deeply and follow what feels right to you, and enjoy your life. And if you want to enjoy it with somebody else, say, "Hey, universe, I'm ready," because that's what I did.
Perfect. Everyone, thank you for tuning in and listening. You can get in touch with Junie by going on her site, midlifeloveoutloud.com. Get her book, Loving the Whole Package, Shed the Shame, and Live Life Out Loud. Get that book and tune in for her show. Her show is every Thursday, 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. And look into her dating game TV show, because it sounds like so much fun. All right, so until we come together, everyone, in love and unity consciousness, because that's what this is all about. We all came from the same source. We are all one. And with that said, au revoir.
Are you seeking a clearer path to love? Then tune in to the Love by Intuition show next week. All designed to your highest good. To contact Deborah Beauvais, owner of Empowered Connections, call her at 508-226-1723. That's 508-226-1723. Or link on to lovebyintuition.com. Remember, we are all one, and we are all part of the miracle of love.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.